and I apologize for that, but it does get better in the end, so enjoy!
Hey lovies, welcome back to my channel. My name is 𝙤𝙤𝙘𝙞𝙀. I do all types of vlogs on my channel where I just basically share a piece of my personal life to you all, and that's basically what my channel has been so far. But in this video, I kind of want to switch it up a little bit and do something that I've kind of been thinking about for a long time. I'm sorry, I'm nosy, but this video is going to be basically a book review on different books that I have read and would like to share with y'all, and that's basically it. Okay, the first book I would like to start with is Corrupt by Penelope Douglas. This was one of the first books that I told one of my family members that I wanted, and they got it for me. I was also 15 at the time, and I'm pretty sure I shouldn't have been reading this type of book, but I did it anyway. So we're here, and basically that's just it. Okay, so I have a couple notes on my computer over here on the side, so if you see me looking, it's because I'm reading off the notes. So we're gonna start with the characters: Erica Fane, Michael Christ, Kai Mori, Damon Torrance, and Will Grayson. Those, okay, except for the girl, like the four men that I just said are a part of a group called the Four Horsemen, and they are wealthy and charismatic, a very wealthy and charismatic group of men, if I could put it that way. And Erica Fane, she's the protagonist. She's a college student. She has a mysterious past. She is the mysterious girl. She is that girl that everybody wants to know, everybody wants to have a piece of, you know? Yeah, her. She is essentially in a relationship, if I could even put it that way, with these men. This story is essentially a reverse harem before the end of the story. And if I'm being honest, I think I've read this like twice, but I can't really give you, I can't really say what happens from start to finish because I only remember like pieces, you know? But I have a little summary that I try not to give spoilers in it. So okay, Corrupt by Penelope Douglas is a gripping romance novel that delves into the theme of revenge, love, and redemption. Remember those three. The story follows Rika Fane, a college student who becomes entangled with a group of four wealthy and charismatic men known as the Horsemen. As Rika navigates a complicated relationship with each of the Horsemen, secret betrayals and desires unravel, leading to an intense emotional conflicts and unexpected revelations. With its steamy romance, complex characters, and suspenseful plot twists, Corrupt keeps readers on the edge of their seats, exploring the blurred lines between love and obsession. This was probably the first ever dark romance I have ever read before. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. But there's so many more. But okay, like I said, we're starting with this one. Rika, I'm pretty sure I like her. It has been a very long time since I read this book, and I just wanted to basically put it back in my mind. I remember when I was reading this book for the very first time, I was kicking my feet, I was giggling. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But like it said in the summary, it definitely explored a lot of things that would be seen in this society as taboo, and I think that's why I liked it, because I never read something where it went beyond like the lines of a fairy tale romance, like it's all lovey-dovey, or you know, basically those types of romance. But it was a really good book. I would rate it at 8.5 out of 10 for being my for being my first ever book to like read that I wanted. I can't speak. I give it that rating. Something in this book, I feel like Penelope Douglas to me is a really great writer, but a recurring theme in all of her books is her just like dancing over the lines of taboo to essentially limitless, and sometimes she crosses over that line, but she doesn't give the audience time to recognize what is happening. So to some, this book, it will and can be a little bit overbearing because of how dark it is, but in my opinion, this is the least of the darkest books I've ever read before. But if you are starting off with reading dark romance for the first time, this will probably be too much, and it's just a lot of things that didn't really sit right with me, especially at that young age, and it kind of made me like take a step back. This is not okay to write, and she's not the first author I've seen to do this, so I guess it's normalized. I wouldn't really say that though. I'm pretty sure, I'm sorry if you hear anything in the back, I'm pretty sure the person that really made me like, it made me clutch my invisible pearls, like it made me take a like actual physical step back, was Damon. I think he was just too much. It danced on the lines of him just being an a-hole to him being like a perverted, and that to me that was a little too much. Like in the book, right, she essentially what's the word? She essentially excuses his behavior for what he went through in the past, and to me that was a little bit unacceptable. So for that, I'm gonna give that book an 8.5. For the first time reading it, I enjoyed it a lot, but as I reread it, it definitely didn't sit right with me. Okay, the second book is called A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair, one of my favorite authors. I say that, but I only have one physical book. This is a, hold up, slow down. This is a Hades and Persephone retelling. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, because I got these books at the exact same time and I finished them in the exact same day. But I absolutely loved it. Okay, so like I was saying, A Touch of Darkness by Scarlett St. Clair is a modern retelling of Hades and Persephone. It's, you know, the myth. Well, some people think it's a myth, some people think it's not. It's set in a contemporary urban fantasy world, and the story follows Persephone as she navigates her life and relationships amidst the backdrop of the Greek mythology. I just had a whole stroke. Okay, from what I read, the memories coming back to me, I'm pretty sure Persephone's mother was trying to get her married to someone, and then she met Hades, and then her and Hades got together, but her mother didn't like that. It's all over the place. It's definitely all over the place. Persephone she is portrayed as a strong-willed and independent woman who is unaware of her true identity as a goddess until she meets Hades. Yes, the memory's coming back to me now. And then Hades, the ruler of the underworld, is depicted as a complex and brooding character with a hidden vulnerability. There it is. The sunshine meets grumpy trope. It's actually one of my favorites, but sometimes it gets too overplayed and it turns into something else. But in this book, it's done very well. To me, it wasn't a dark romance. It was just a regular romance, but with a touch of taboo. It wasn't that bad. It wasn't. I rate this book a 9.8 specifically. I remember like laughing and giggling and kicking my feet with this book too. And that description of Hades wasn't lying when it said that he had a hidden vulnerability, because when he met Persephone, I'm pretty sure he was still brooding, and I think he was pretty mean. And then when they got together, he started showing his soft side. And look at that now. They're together, they're loving, you know. Woohoo! But it also includes characters like Hermes, Demeter, which is Persephone's overprotective mom, and Zeus. Yeah, basically. It's like, if I could give a description to this, it's basically like a girl who isn't used to the real world, because like Rapunzel, like that's such a weird thing to say, but it is like Rapunzel. Her mother kind of kept her away from the darkness of the world, so when she was introduced to it, she kind of went in with an innocent mind, and then she came out of it knowing what was happening, and it basically engulfed her. And that's why I love it so much, because to me, it wasn't like a pick-me book, because there's a lot of them out here. And I think Scarlett did an amazing job at writing this book, and it's going to forever be my all-time favorite. And like I said, 9.8. The next book I read, I think I'm going to leave that one for last. It's called Kindred by Octavia E. Butler. R.I.P. to the amazing writer. I read this book, I would like to say, the middle of 7th grade year, when I was in middle school. Loved it. Reread it a couple times. This definitely, it's not necessarily a romance book. It's really not. But it does engulf you in things that happened in the past, which it kind of brings light to a situation by also combining fantasy with it. Kindred by Octavia E. Butler is a powerful science fiction novel that blends elements of historical fiction, which was essentially slavery and basically the whole North versus the South. And time travel, which was surprising because I didn't know what it was about. When I read books, I never read the back, so I never really read like the summary. I just give my own. And this story basically follows Dana, a modern African American woman who is mysteriously transported back to the time of the antebellum South. Imagine that. Imagine you think you're about to have a good day, and then all of a sudden, excuse my language, a white boy is struggling, and you get teleported to the South, and you try to save him, and his mama ain't having that, and she attacks you because you're black.
Imagine that.
And it keeps happening too. This story was amazing. I'm sorry, that was just a flip in a flip. That was just a flipping attitude. I'm so sorry. It also looks like it's getting dark when it's extremely sunny outside. I don't understand, but I'm sorry for that. Anyways, the main character, 𝙨𝙤𝙘𝙞, is the narrator of the story. She is a very strong-willed woman. I'll tell you that. And she finds herself being repeatedly pulled back into the time of the early 19th century, where she must navigate the brutal realities of slavery. I don't know why I rolled my R's. And then her husband, Kevin, a white man who also gets pulled back to time with her, that one time that turned into many times. And his presence in the past complicates their experience and challenges in their relationship, because, as you know, back then, there wasn't necessarily white plus black together. It was always separated, and where the white man was given pedestals and the black, yeah, I don't want to get too much into like a history lesson, because I feel like I'll just basically turn into an activist, and then it won't be a book review anymore. Rufus, the white boy that she always had to save, pissed me off so much. Like, as a child, I understand needing to be saved, but as he got older, he turned into his daddy, and that pissed me off. And then there's this one scene in the book. I'm trying not to spoil, because I didn't spoil it for the other two, but this one, it showed how when people are put on pedestals, they believe they can do anything to anyone. And during this scene, she was essentially helping him, and this is where it steps out. You know how I said that there's a line and authors tend to cross that line? This is the straight line, and it kind of tiptoed over where he was falling for her. He's now grown up, and he just wouldn't take no for an answer. And this is when, like, it gets pulled into these books, and it's very disheartening. Like, I don't know if that would be the right word to explain that. He is the son of a plantation owner, and he is also the key figure in the reason why she keeps getting pulled back. There's a lot of other characters, but I'm not really gonna go into that. The novel basically explores the theme of identity and power and dynamics, which is so true. I recommend anybody who just needs something to read, who likes a little bit of history mixed with a little bit of sci-fi, if I would even call it that. Read it. It is so good. It was one of my favorites for a long time. I'm trying to picture me during that situation, but imagine living in the time we are now, where, I'm not gonna lie, there is a lot more things that needs to be done for everybody to be equal, if that even is possible, back to then. And it's just like, you're free, and then you get turned into a slave. Like, that's having to adhere to systematic oppression a million times over. Then you have to keep going between times. I don't think no, I can't do it. No. This book is a 10 out of 10. Read it. It is a very well written book, and Octavia put her foot in this one. I'll tell you that. The last physical book I am going to give a review on is called Mine by Tanya Chris. Yeah. I got this book at Strand Bookstore in Manhattan, and let me tell you, by the book cover, I already knew what what it was gonna be at. I already knew, but I got it anyway. But I like this book. Like I was saying, the book Mine by Tanya Chris. I literally picked this up on a school trip because we went to Strand Bookstore for the first time, and they were having a sale, and I saw it and I picked it up, knowing what type of book it was. Mine by Tanya book is Mine by Tanya Chris is a telling story of Amanda and Derek, a standalone romance. Amanda is a very dominant and assertive character. That is very telling because of what type of book it is. Derek is very sweet-tempered, well-adjusted, and so in this book, it's essentially her bringing him into the world of and Lord. If you see this, no you don't. If you know me in real life and you see this, no you don't. And he's not used to basically being submissive, and so when she first brings him in, he's kind of like her puppy dog. He follows her around. She's very much like she's a baddie. She doesn't take nothing from nobody. And I'm pretty sure in this book there was a friend, I forgot what her name was, honestly. I don't even remember. I don't know. It was some girl that he had a fling with in the past, and she got in their business because she saw markings on his back, and it was all over the place. But it was a good all over the place though. The dynamic between Amanda and Derek involves Amanda exploring her dominant side, while Derek becomes basically. Derek wasn't used to being like submissive, and he comes to terms with his side, and it basically creates a compelling story of love and personal growth. This story wasn't that bad. I'm saying that it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad at all. I will give it a cool 7. It wasn't that bad, but like it definitely, I don't know how to describe it properly. But other than that, it was a good book. It was a good book. I remember reading it for the first time, and I was also kicking my feet and giggling. I do that with every single book I have. But those are the 4 physical books. I have more on my bed, but if I'm being honest, those are just on my TBR. I have not read a single book. Okay, I had to do a quick intermission. Okay, the next book, I don't have a physical copy. I've been reading it on like my phone. Yeah. Basically, yeah. Okay. The book is called Real by Kennedy Ryan. It is the first book in the Hollywood Renaissance series. I didn't read the rest of the book, so I'm so sorry. The main character, Neva, is an aspiring, can't say that word, is Neva Saint, an aspiring actress, spends her days in an understudy in a Broadway show waiting for a moment to shine. And then her love interest, Cannon Holt, who is a renowned film director, it just like, he saw her for the first time and it was just like, there she is. I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it was basically like, that's she's mine type of moment. So like, not that in a romance way, but like, that's my actor, you know? She's gonna be starring in my next film, and that's exactly what happened. He basically cast her as the star in his in his film, I'm pretty sure the film was called Blue something. I'm so sorry. This is actually one of my favorite books, and I keep forgetting things that happened in it. But like I said, I reread it again for like the 4th time 2 days ago, and I think this was probably the first ever book. I was trying to have like a behind the ear type moment, like let me be great, you know? Let me be great. Let the ears show. They never show. I look like an idiot. But anyways, this was the first book where I ever read about like I wouldn't really call it a disability. The main character, Neva, she has lupus, and it was also the first time I ever got introduced to the term lupus and like the sickness. And I know that sounds a little bit dumb, but like remember that I am still young, and I don't know what the world has to offer yet. I only know some sorts, and sometimes it's not good, but I'm not there yet, you know? I'm still young. But this book was very good. It had some up and downs. Something that really shocked me was when I found out that this is gonna be a spoiler. I'm so sorry, but this book really had me fascinated. When her own sister cheated on her with her fiance. As a sister, how do you do that? And then, to me, in the end, I get it. You're, like, supposed to forgive and forget. But, like, you had a whole baby on me? And then you want my forgiveness. And then you're kind of blaming it on me and saying that I essentially took away the sisterly bond. But it's just like, girl, what? I'm so sorry. I may be a little bit too childish, or I'm maybe not that mature yet when it comes to having forgiveness for people. But as a sister, I don't think I would ever forgive my sister if she ever did that. But then again, in the end, they bonded, and Neva did admit that she saw it as a childhood crush, and she was gonna get over it in the end. But like, what? That's different, and it was all due to jealousy too. Like, you're jealous of your own sister. That's weird. Some weirdo. The next digital book we have is called Birthday Girl by none other than Penelope Douglas. It is a contemporary romance novel with forbidden love themes, and it essentially is about the protagonist, Jordan, who is a young girl who finds herself falling in love with something she shouldn't be. She's just drawn to tabooness, forbidden. You know when somebody tells you that you can't have something? Well, she's gonna get it. That's basically it. The character's name, well, like I said, the protagonist, Jordan, and then Pike, her love interest. See, the thing about Pike is that he is kind of her boyfriend / ex-boyfriend's father. Yeah. So basically, she and his son. What is his? I don't remember what his son. Was it Jake? I don't remember. It's not really important either. Basically, she and Jake fell in and out of love because he cheated on her, and then she was just drawn to his father. And mind you, I'm pretty sure she was around 19. Yeah, she was 19, and I'm pretty sure he was was he? How old was he? I think he was in his 40s. We don't talk about that. But basically, they were just drawn to each other, and it was just more exciting. Like, if anything, it would be like when a person is just has that adrenaline, and what they do, even though they know it's going to hurt somebody, they just can't stop because it's like they're enjoying themselves. If that makes sense. It definitely was juicy, I'll tell you that. It's a dynamic between Jordan and Pike that explores themes of age gap, romance, forbidden love, and personal growth. Personal growth seems to be a topic, the biggest topic in all of these. It's always something. It's very compelling. It states that it's an emotional read. It really wasn't. There was some sadness, but it was like the cliche sadness where they're like, no, we have to stop, and oh my god, you're my son's ex-girlfriend, you know, the normal stuff, you know. And then, you know, she leaves, he has to chase her, boom, they're back together. Something's wrong with me. Okay. Like I said, this video was just going to be, you know, a normal book review of all the books that I love and that's not proper English. All the books that I love and have made an impact on my life. And I say that not to be like exaggerating, because impact on my life seems like a little bit too much, but like when I say that, I mean I remember it, and I have a really bad memory, so this is very impactful. And I have books, bro, I have books over here that I literally bought, did not read one. So I'm guessing I'm just gonna make this my goal. But if you have made it to the end of this video, thank you so much for watching. This is actually a really nice video to make. I actually really enjoyed it, and I feel like my personality came out a little bit. Sorry if it's too much. Actually, no, I'm not. But yeah, thank you for watching if you did, and if you got to the end, hey guys! Hi. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Bye. I love y'all.